Hey there, Christy with Automation on a Mission, and in this video we are talking about adding team members. So you are not a one-person show, and it's time for you to invite your VA, your co-founder, your sales team, your whomever into your system. So this video is going to walk you through how you can go about doing that. So the first thing we're going to do is from our dashboard, we're going to click on Settings, and this will take us to our business area, and I'm going to click on the area that says My Staff. And from the first screen, what you're going to see is all the people that already have access to your application. And if you want to add additional people, you can come in here and click on the Add an Employee, and you can add their contact information. Now notice we've got a couple of different areas that we're able to make adjustments or changes on their behalf. At a minimum, to save a team member as a part of your system, you need first name, last name, and email. I recommend also including their phone number because when they log into the system, it will always have two-factor authentication, and sometimes if the server is delayed, it will take a long time for that email to come. And when I say a long time, it might be like 1 to 2 minutes, and people just don't like to wait that long. Whereas if you put a phone number, it's like pretty much instantaneous. I prefer the text message response versus email. I think most systems are just more reliable when it comes to phone. So first name, last name, email, and phone, even though phone is not required. So do those things, and you then click the Save button, and it's going to generate an invitation email that goes out to that person, and they're then able to log in. Now, the other thing that I do want to cover in here is this area that says Roles and Permissions. And you notice that when I click on it, it expands into a lot of different things. And if you notice, most of these things should look familiar to things that are on our primary navigation or other features or elements that are a part of the app. And what you're doing here is giving them access or removing access for them. So you have two levels of control first and foremost. You have a general user and an admin. And so if I give them user status, notice that the number of choices is substantially fewer than if I give them admin status. But the other thing that I'm then able to do is make adjustments on a granular level. So for example, maybe I want somebody to be able to they can view and manage tags, but I don't want them to be able to view and manage settings. Or maybe I want them to view automations, but I don't want them to be able to edit them. Maybe I want them to be able to send emails, but they can't delete emails. So those are the kinds of things that you can have control over when it comes to permissions. Maybe you want them to have access to contacts and calendars, but you don't want them to have access to payments and opportunities. So those would be some examples of things that you might consider in terms of how you create your permission levels. And then the other thing that I really like is once you have a model that you really like that maybe, maybe you have multiple salespeople and their access should be the same, set this up for one person and then copy those permissions repeatedly as you then add new team members. So that is essentially how you go about adding a new team member. The last thing I did want to show you before I pop off is under that user information, we have signature area, calendar, as well as here we have user availability and calendar configuration. Now you as the owner of the business get to see and access all of this stuff. You get to make changes if you need to, but really this is for them to come in and take care of. So what I wanted you to hear or know is that to get them started, you need first name, last name, email, and phone number, and ideally set up their roles and permissions. But beyond that, everything else can be set up by them. It doesn't need to hold you back from getting them in the system and getting them started and working in the business. All right, so that is everything that I have to cover in terms of how to add team members. As always, let us know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.